Hey everyone, PB here, and welcome to my Star Ocean recap series. Unlike my other favorite JRPGs such as Final Fantasy and the Tales of series, all of the games in Star Ocean are based in the same universe, just at different points in time. I know I've struggled with remembering all the events that happened in the series, so I've made these videos to go over the main storylines. Be forewarned that this series does contain spoilers. Without further ado, let's recap Star Ocean till the end of time. Star Ocean Till the End of Time is based in the year Stardate 772, which is last in the timeline. You begin your adventure as Fate Line God on a pleasure cruise with your family and friend Sophia when it is suddenly attacked by a hostile alien race called the Vendini. You are forced to evacuate the ship and will eventually get separated from everyone and find yourself stranded on an underdeveloped planet. You help the locals by seeking out Norton, a man who has been kidnapping and recruiting the town's youth for his malevolent schemes. During your encounter with Norton, out of the blue, a man named Clift, who is a member of Quark, which is an anti-Federation group, arrives just in time to rescue you. Norton is defeated and you both leave on Clift's ship. You are introduced to Mirage, who is Clift's partner in the rescue mission, and set off to meet Quark's leader. During the transport, you are attacked by the Vendini and you crash land in the middle of a city on a nearby planet. Mirage is ordered to hide as you and Clift are captured and taken prisoners. You learn that you are on the planet Elcor 2 and there is a war currently going on between two nations, Airglyph and Aquaria, and you just so happen to crash on the villainous nation Airglyph's front lawn. From the shadows of the dungeon you are in, a woman named Nell appears and breaks you out of your cell. You all escape through the aqueducts in order to escape the city. From here, you travel through snowy plains, traverse through an abandoned mineshaft, meet with Nell's superior, rescue a couple of Nell's companions from an Airglyph stronghold, rescue another local girl who looks like Sophia who had collapsed during a flower picking expedition, and then finally reaching the kingdom of Aquaria. All of this to just give more depth as to why Airglyph is bad and Aquaria is good. After speaking with the queen, you agree to help them in their development of a new runological weapon, the Thunder Arrow, that will end the war. You notice a flaw in the minerals being used to conduct energy for the weapon and set out to gather copper for them to use for the development of the Thunder Arrow. After acquiring the copper, you are ambushed by Airglyph soldiers while trying to transport the minerals back. You manage to fight them off and are able to get the copper back to the city for the development team. When you arrive back in Aquaria, you are finally reunited with Mirage. After the development of the weapon is complete, you head off to the front line of the war and assist in the battle. During the battle, the Vendini arrive and demolish the battlefield with a single blast. Both sides attempt to fight the Vendini ship, but are taken out with ease. You soon realize that all these encounters with the Vendini are not coincidences at all, and you are their sole purpose of all their attacks. You go berserk and awaken hidden powers you never knew of and obliterate the Vendini vessel out of existence. You pass out from the surge of energy and awaken inside the Aquarian castle. Another Vendini ship appears in the sky but is confronted by another small spacecraft from Quark. They trade blows and both crash land onto the planet. Next thing you know, the leader of Quark, Maria, teleports down next to you and she explains she came alone on that vessel and their actual ship, the Diplo, will be arriving later to transport them back into space. Maria explains that you are both byproducts of your father's forbidden research in symbological genetic modifications to turn people into living weapons. This is why the Vendini are after you and they've kidnapped your father and Sophia. You soon find out that the Vendini have entered the sacred land of Aquarian's church and are after their sacred orb. Maria uses her scanner to determine that there is an out-of-place artifact in the area where the sacred orb is and that it's so technologically advanced that even her scanners cannot identify what it is. You head out to eradicate the Vendini from the sacred land and return once you are done. You need the assistance of both Aquaria and Airglyph in order to stage a diversion and counterattack on the Vendini so you can escape the planet. You facilitate this meeting with both the leaders in an ancient ruins that is a neutral zone out in the desert. The plan is to use Aquaria's runological weapons with the Airglyph's dragon so that they can take the fight into the skies. In order to mobilize the Thunder Arrow, you must tame the Elder Dragon Crossoul since he's the only dragon large enough to carry the weapon. You carry out the plan and are successful in taming Crossoul. After all the preparations are complete, the Diplo finally arrives to rescue you. As you expected, 3 Vendini ships appear and engage in battle with the Diplo. The dragons take flight and begin attacking the Vendini, but you are barely doing any damage. When all seems lost, a beam of energy pulses through the sky and destroys 2 of the Vendini ships while the third one retreats. You learn that the source of the energy is unknown, but it is attacking not only the Vendini, but the Earth Federation as well. Once the repairs are done on the Diplo, you head out to space in order to rescue your father. Before you are able to leave orbit of the planet, you are contacted by a Vendini ship who has your father and Sophia held captive on it. You agree to meet them back on Elcor 2 in order to exchange you for your father and Sophia. During the exchange on the planet, the Vendini go back on their word and try to capture you as well. A Federation ship arrives to help turn the tables and destroys the Vendini ship. Since the Vendini are now backed into a corner, they decide you are better off dead than in the hands of the Federation. Your father takes a fatal blow in order to protect you, and you retaliate by defeating the remaining Vendini soldiers. Your father's last last words were to go find his research lab on Moonbase, which is a Federation station. You head back out into space and board the Federation ship, the Aqua Ellie, in order to reach Moonbase. While en route to your father's lab, you learn about the presence of the Enforcers who were sent by the Creator. They use powerful beings known as Executioners and Proclaimers to obliterate the Federation and Vendini. When you finally make it to Moonbase, you encounter one of these beings and are able to defeat it. You manage to find your father's research lab and discover an unsettling data log which explains why he did what he did. He was doing extensive research on the planet Styx and discovered that by sending certain symbological data through it, he could retrieve other recorded data about the time gate itself. In doing so, he discovered that the time gate is actually a doorway to the 4D universe, a space where you can freely move throughout time. The people in 4D space are so advanced that they are believed to be the creators of our universe. When acquiring this data, the time gate spoke not a warning but a sentence to the annihilation of the eternal sphere, the name of your universe. It stated that they have advanced too far in the symbological science which originated from the Creator himself, and they are now deemed a threat to 4D space. Your father decided that they would not go down without a fight, which is why they use symbological genetics to invoke 3 children with these powers. You obtained the destruction gene, Maria obtained the alteration gene, and Sophia obtained the connection gene. Without hesitation, you decide to fulfill your parents' wish to save the universe by going to 4D space. You head back to the Aqua Ellie and set a course to the planet Styx. When you finally arrive, you explore the area until you come across the time gate. At this point, Sophia's powers awaken and you are able to connect with 4D space through the time gate. When you arrive in 4D space, you meet a local kid who tells you that you are just characters in a simulator that people watch for entertainment. You learn that the Executioners were programmed to fix the anomalies inside the Milky Way section to prevent the simulation from corrupting the other galaxies. The kid tells you about his friend Blair, who works in Sphere, who can help you find the answers you are looking for. You travel to Sphere and run into several security teams along the way. After dealing with them all, you manage to find Blair. She explains that the owner Luther is behind the attacks on the Milky Way galaxy, and she believes that the Eternal Sphere has advanced to the point in being a parallel world and should not be meddled with. She created an uninstaller that will destroy all the Enforcers inside the simulator, allowing everyone inside the Eternal Sphere to live without 4D interference. The uninstaller must be used within the Eternal Sphere, so you head out to the owner's office where there is a terminal access point which will take you back to your dimension. You arrive back on the time gate on Styx and are met by the Enforcers. Sophia manages to use the uninstaller on the time gate. However, Luther created a security program that would activate the convictors if the uninstaller is used. Blair reaches out to you and states that Luther is inside a developer room within the Eternal Sphere. You will need a special ID in order to access the developer's room. Coincidentally, the Sacred Orb on Elocor 2 is one of these IDs, so you set off to acquire it. Once you acquire the Sacred Orb, you find out coincidentally enough as well that the gateway to the developer's room is also on Elocor 2 at the ancient ruins where you facilitated the meeting between both nations. You travel back to the ruins and find the gate hidden inside. You place the Sacred Orb on the altar, which activates the gate and leads you to the firewall for the developer's room. After successfully making your way through the firewall, you ascend to the highest floor of the final dungeon where you finally meet Luther inside his developer's room. Luther has become so obsessed with removing all anomalies from the Eternal Sphere that he initiates the destruction of the entire simulation. You are able to defeat Luther, however, you are too late to stop the deletion of your world. The only way to survive now is to believe that you are all real. In doing so, you break the ties with the 4D world and are now sentient beings in your own universe, completely unaffected by the deletion of your program. All that's left now is to watch whatever endings you've unlocked. Thank you all for watching, and I hope you enjoyed this episode. These videos do take me a bit of time and are strenuous to make, so please let me know in the comments below if this was helpful or if there was anything else important that I may have missed. Also, while you're down there, don't forget to smash that like button and subscribe. Feel free to check out some of my other videos on my channel since I do have a variety of gaming content. Until then, take care, my friends.